Dub will be evaluated game to game, day to day with a left hamstring injury. He's expected to be listed as questionable for Game 3 in San Antonio on Friday. I'm told he did travel with the Thunder today to San Antonio. He's going to have treatment around the clock. The return will be based on how he feels in his recovery from what is his second consecutive hamstring injury to the same left hamstring in just under 1 month. But we've seen De'Aaron Fox, OG Anunoby be listed essentially game to game pain tolerance injuries that will just come down to whether they'll be able to gut it out in each game.
Yeah, Shams, and having to have dealt with 2 of these injuries recently, that makes it more of an uphill battle here, as you well know, for Jalen Williams. Thank you so much for that back-to-back MVP, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He bounced back from a pedestrian Game 1. He went for 30 in Game 2. Shump, what have you seen from him so far in this series?
I think so far it's been his adjustment, his attention to detail, understanding that they're throwing a double team at him. He's beating the double team. He's taking his time finding Wibby and getting to his spots.
Well, after an all-time performance in Game 1 on the other side of this, Victor was contained a little bit by OKC, right? Emphasis on a bit in Game 2. So, Danny, has Wemby been the best player in this series?
Absolutely. He's been rebounding his own misses, throwing it up there to get putbacks on the other side of the rim, dunking the ball over people. This energy has been amazing from him. I worry about his fatigue of the minutes he's playing, but he's been the most consistent guy throughout this whole playoff series, and he's the reason why San Antonio stole one out of OKC.
So we've touched on the stars, right? But, Perk, when you're looking at the biggest X factor in this series, who do you have your eye on?
Oh, the second best player on the Thunder, and that's Alex Caruso. He was the X factor for the Lakers when they won the championship with Danny. He was the X factor last year when the Thunder won their championship. And in this series, he's going to have to elevate even more, although he's averaging 24 points in this series. But since we don't know the status of J-Dub, I'm looking at Alex Caruso to be that guy to help Shai and them get through this series.
Yeah, because injuries can be an X factor as well. And as much as we've seen jaw-dropping basketball, we're also getting dangerously close to injuries playing a real role here, Brian.
Yeah, when this injury report comes out ahead of this game, we're going to know a lot more. This did not look good. This looked like a soft tissue injury that could cause Dylan Harper to miss some time. And then they already got De'Aaron Fox out with that ankle injury. And look, high ankle sprains, you can go out there and shoot. It does not mean you can go side to side.
Right.
I do think A.J. Mitchell, though. A.J. Mitchell got hit in the quad last night. I think that he may have made it out of that avoiding major injury. So that's a positive move for the Thunder. But the Spurs are going to need some ball handling with their 2 guards potentially out.
Especially when you look at how tight the margins are here. Through 2 games, we've seen 2 overtime periods, and we've seen the Thunder outscore the Spurs by a grand total of 2 points.
Wow.
So far in this series, right? And when you're Game 1, Brian says don't overreact. It's hard not to when you see the video game numbers that Victor Wembanyama was putting up. Game 2, okay, he's more contained. Oklahoma City is looking like themselves again. So who are you if you're the Spurs or if you're the Thunder, Perk? Who are you feeling better as if you're walking into Game 3?
The Spurs.
You think
the Spurs, yeah. I'm going home. I'm going back to the crib. Series tied 1-1. Right? Felt like they walked out of Game 2 thinking that they could have stole that one. Don't let the score fool you. And then you're going back to the crib where you know the others are going to play better at home. They have established a tough environment there. We know how Wemby acts on his bounce-back games. And you know the crazy part about this? We're saying that Wemby need a bounce-back game. He still had, I think, 24-17 last night. So, but he's going to have one of those performances again. And so when you think about who's going to step up for the Thunder, I just feel like Chet has underachieved and underdelivered.
Even last night?
Yeah, even last night. 13 points ain't to my standards for Chet. Last time I checked, he was an all-star this year. I'm looking at him at one of these moments, he need to have a 20 to 25 point night, and I don't know if he's capable of doing that.
I'd be really worried about the Spurs if Dylan Harper and De'Aaron Fox couldn't play.
That's my issue.
Because
Harper.
You think about what is the definition of a 3-and-D player? Hits threes, plays D, right? The Spurs or the Thunder just off the bench yesterday had 11 threes and 11 steals. They've got this squad of guys that come in and try to take the ball from you. And if you're playing your second, third, fourth-string ball handlers, it's tough. So Devin Vassell, nobody talked about Devin Vassell. He had a big game last night. He hit 6 threes. He's going to have to do some ball handling. They may need to consider the old French vanilla lineup with Cornette and Wembanyama together and play
Ooh.
big.
French vanilla.
Not that they would play that for big stretches,
Right.
but they may have to get creative and come up with some lineups if they're looking at 2 of their 3 best perimeter ball handlers being out.
Is Harper's injury to the Spurs more detrimental than J-Dub's injury to the
I
Thunder?
believe so, because they played 50 games without J-Dub
Yeah.
this year. And A.J. Mitchell, especially if he doesn't miss time with that quad bruise that he's got, they can just flip the switch. Not to say that Jalen Williams isn't important, but they have a lot of reps without that. Plus, they have all those guards. They got guys in the they got rotation players that are not even activated right now. They got Jared McCain can come and play there. They got Aaron Wiggins who they can play.
Casey Wallace.
Casey Wallace. The Spurs don't go quite as deep, especially with ball handlers.
Yeah, I mean, Harrison Barnes gave him some decent minutes. Chin Penny, they have a couple guys. We forget Victor Wembanyama can bring the ball up. Like, he can handle the ball.
I was going to say that.
He can start the offense. We've seen
Do you
that
want
plenty
to
of
put
times.
more on
Not
him?
a lot, but you can take some off of Castle. You can use him to alleviate some pressure in that. Yes, OKC is more familiar with playing without J-Dub, but I think he means more to them than Harper. I mean, Harper means a lot for their bench, but if you can get Fox back, that'll help relieve a lot of pressure. But if not, you know Wemby's going to figure out how they're playing. Those others, Jared McCain, Casey Wallace, Alex Caruso, he might, because he's a vet, he's been there. Those other guys, I don't know if they're going to play as well on the road as they did at home. And I expect Julian Champagnie to shoot better. I expect Vassell to shoot better. Harrison Barnes, whoever else they play, even Jordan McLaughlin. Like, those guys can step up and play better at home. So it's going to be a 50-50 toss-up, and it all kind of relies on De'Aaron Fox.
I wanted to see also, do they take a page out of the Jokic book, the Karl Anthony Towns book now, and then make Wemby just a playmaker? You don't have to bring it up. You don't have to expend a bunch of energy. But you do have to have the ball, and we're going to run actions to where if they back up off you, shoot them dead in their face. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna shoot you dead in your face if you back up off me, but I'm going to let this offense run. Same way Cat does, it's just, it look a lot different when somebody's 7'5", holding it up here to where you can't get it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But here's my question to y'all. And Stephon Castle has been outstanding this entire season and this postseason. Do we really believe that he's going to continue to average 10 turnovers a game?
I hope not.
So hold on.
But they're aggressive
but let me say this.
Getting better.
Let me say this. Shump, you highlighted earlier that SGA went to the film room.
Yeah.
You could tell the way he picked his spots. Stephon Castle is going to go to the film room.
Without a doubt.
And what he's going to realize is that those home run passes that you were able to make against other teams, you can't make them against the Thunder, right? So we go back to the what assist, Malika?
Hockey assist.
The hockey assist.
singles,
and
baby.
so now all of a sudden I wonder, Miss Johnson, now you got to get into your bag a little bit. Because one thing we can't take away from Stephon Castle is that he's been getting buckets in this
And he
series.
play hard.
So, no, but he's been getting buckets. So now you say, okay, can I utilize him now and say, you know what? I want you to be more of a scorer than a facilitator.
Tell me that Jalen Williams, a.k.a. J.